as physics is a study of nature and natural phenomena. So to describe this, first we describe what is conserved quantities in nature. Some special quantities whose value remain constant in time are called conserved quantities. Means a quantity quantity which doesn't change or remain fixed with time, that quantity is called conserved quantity. Now there are basic 4 laws of nature. First is law of conservation of energy. Second is law of conservation of linear momentum. Third is law of conservation of angular momentum. And fourth is law of conservation of charge. First of all, law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. The sum total. Law of conservation of energy means total energy of a system is going to be same. The sum total of energy of all kind in the universe remain constant. Every energy can transfer from one form to another or from one place to another or other, but total amount will never going to be changed. Suppose we have a system here. In this system, suppose a stone A falls or drop freely from a height h. At this point, this is distance h and this is ground. At this point, as it is at rest, because it is dropped from here, so here it is at rest, it is dropped from here, it has to be fall on ground from height h. So at point A, its kinetic energy formula is half mv square. As it is dropped from here, means from rest, velocity is 0 at A. So kinetic energy at point A, it's going to be 0 because velocity is 0 at point A. But potential energy at point A, which is also called gravitational potential energy, that is not 0, that is equals to mgh, where m is the mass of this particle. Therefore, at point A, total energy is going to be kinetic energy at A plus potential energy at A. So we get total energy at A is equals to kinetic energy 0 plus mgh. So it's going to be mgh. So we can say at point A, total energy is mgh. Suppose at any instant of time, it is at point B. At point B, say here, the distance of this point let be h minus x or x, whatever you can take, h minus x, and let the velocity here be v2 or vv. Therefore, potential energy at point B is going to be mg, height is h minus x from the ground, and kinetic energy is going to be half m vb square. As if I take it from here, let this distance be x. This distance be x. Initial energy Va was 0. We have to find velocity. by using the formula v square equals to u square plus 2as. V final velocity is at point B, initial was at A, 2 time A is acceleration due to gravity, which is g here, and s is the distance, that is x here. So what we get, VA is 0, so we get VB square equals to 0 plus 2gx, or we can say VB square is equals to 2gx. So by placing the value of VB square here, we get half m into 2gx. 2 get cancelled with 2, so kinetic energy at point B, half m, instead of VB square we get 2gx, 2 get cancelled with 2, we get mgx. And potential energy at B, that is mg h minus x. If we open the bracket, that is mg h minus mg x. So total energy at point B, it's going to be kinetic energy at B plus potential energy at, so we get mgx plus mgh minus mgx. This term is of minus, this is of plus, but see, cancel out each other. So total energy is mgh. So what we observe, total energy either at point A or point B is mgh. So we observe that as particle is moving from point A or falling from point A to point B, its potential energy is changing to kinetic energy, but total energy of the system is remaining same. This is law of conservation of energy. So next is law of conservation of linear momentum and law of conservation of angular momentum. So first let me describe you what's the meaning of momentum and linear as well as angular momentum. First of all, term momentum. I think so you all are familiar with this term momentum. It's actually represent the capacity of a body to move. It's of two type, linear momentum and angular momentum. So linear momentum is the capacity of a body to move in a straight line. Angular momentum is capacity of a body to move in a rotational path or in a circular path. So that is angular momentum. Linear momentum is represented by symbol P. Angular momentum is represented by symbol L. Formula of linear momentum is mass into velocity. And formula of angular momentum is moment of inertia into angular velocity. So from here, P is equals to m into v. So P is directly proportional to m and P is directly proportional to, it's quite clear, more the mass, more the momentum, more the velocity, more the momentum. Suppose if there is a bicycle and a truck, both are coming towards you with same velocity, but you know the mass of bicycle is small m, say mass of truck is capital M. Mass of truck is always greater than mass of bicycle. So you can stop this bicycle by applying some power or energy, but can you stop this truck? No. Means momentum of this truck is more as compared to the bicycle. So it's quite difficult to stop a body with large momentum, of high mass, large momentum, or of more velocity. So a body with more momentum is quite difficult to stop, either in a straight line or in a circular path. If a body is moving in a straight line, then it has linear momentum. If a body is moving in a rotational or a circular path, then it has angular momentum, where I is the moment of inertia. We will discuss about this factor in detail in further chapter, where we discuss about the rotational motion of the particle, and omega is the angular velocity. Just like linear velocity, and omega is the angular velocity. Just like mass, this I is moment of inertia, means mass of a body when it's in circular motion. So I is mass of a body when it's in circular motion. So right now you can take this quantity as like this. So first law of conservation of linear momentum, what it say? If external force acting on a body is zero, in that case total momentum of a body, total linear momentum of a body is constant. This is law of conservation of linear momentum. From Newton's second law of motion, we have a relation between force and linear momentum, that force is equals to change in momentum with respect to time. So by using the differentiation formula, if force acting on this part of any particle is zero, in that case differentiation of momentum is also zero. If differentiation of some quantity is zero, means that quantity is a constant. So P is a constant here. So if force acting on a body is zero, then total linear momentum of the body is zero. So what we have? In the absence of an external force, the linear momentum of a system remains unchanged. So if no external force is acting on the system, in that case linear momentum will remain unchanged or will remain same. Now for the law of conservation of angular momentum. If total torque is here rotational force. What is the meaning of rotational force? A force which gives rotational effect to a body. That force is called rotational force. So if a rotational force or torque acting on a body is zero, in that case angular momentum of that body is constant, or we can say tau is equals to dl by dt. This is the relation between torque and angular momentum. If on a body tau is zero or torque is zero, in that case dl by dt is zero, and if derivative of L is zero, means L is a constant quantity or it's a conserved quantity. So what we can say, if total external torque acting on system is zero, then angular momentum of the system remain constant. Next is law of conservation of charge. Charge means positive or negative charge. Means if on a body, or in a system, net charge remains same, it can transfer from one point to another, but total charge of the system will remain same. It means that charge are neither created nor destroyed, just like energy, but they are simply transferred from one body to another. This is called law of conservation of charge.